and do away with human travel and all these other areas. It'll all be public transportation. You'll have to ask permission and show a need to travel somewhere else, and it'll all be controlled, no automobile. And it's happening slowly but surely, and right now they've already pretty much got Austin by the cojones, and now they're going after these rural communities. But I think there's an opportunity if we can take the weight and the sheer numbers that we have and the experience we have in Austin and go and lend support to these smaller communities, we'll be able to magnify our voice, and we might be able to reverse the tide in some of these smaller areas, which would provide a good place for maybe us to get the hell out of this city one of these days if it gets worse.
I heard Lockhart was one of the cities.
Yeah, Lockhart's one of them, Dripping Springs. And it's part of Obama's Rural Council. That's what they're driving funds and grants. Again, the grants that we've all dealt with through TAG. They're driving grants to the housing and urban development. But I have a vision of us, in addition to these political pushbacks, which could take place at the state level. Maybe a bill is yet to be filed. It could be filed. It's been filed in other states. Pushing back on the institutions around Agenda 21, but I'd like to see us as a community as a whole go ahead and design our own comprehensive plan and come together and say we've reached consensus that we are going to respect private property, that we want to have people that have a like mind of us. Maybe it's a good idea to go to these particular areas, geographic regions. We're going to bring in wealthy libertarians and get them to invest in property and businesses in these plighted towns, and we're going to plan for the 2050, and this is what our plan says. If it isn't in line with your plan, then you guys might want to make some amendments, but this is what we're doing as a community, so hopefully we don't butt heads.
That's right. Yeah, if all these sustainable plans were so great, they wouldn't have to force people to do it, and they wouldn't have to use tax money to pay for it.
Just to add to the conversation, I totally agree with John. There's a man who ran for the Austin City Council whose name, this was in 2008, his name is Cid Galindo. And he was heavily tied to the developers, and his vision for Austin was for there to be about a dozen different what was called pods, which is density development zones, where basically you live in your 1/8 of mile quad
district,
and you would shop there, everything there, no cars, all walking, and you live in your pod, almost like the ghettos they did in Warsaw during World War II. And not to get too controversial here, but this is what's going on. I recently went to my neighborhood association meeting. This was the first neighborhood association meeting here in Austin I've ever been to, Northfield Neighborhood Association, and they brought ACC there. Highland Mall is about to be bought and totally redeveloped by ACC, and basically they said, we're about to form, this is important news, we're about to form a public-private partnership with a corporation, a well-known corporation. We're going to create a pipeline for employment for the ACC students to this corporation. And then this developer got up there, and I asked the woman, I said, could you tell me which corporation this is? And she said, no. And I said, why not? And she said, well, because it's under negotiation. So she went on with her spiel, and then the developer guy got up there, and I said, well, why, all this focus on density development, why are you guys doing, your ACC, why are you doing residential development in Highland Mall? If your goal is to educate people here in Travis County, shouldn't you be seeking university status and competing with University of Texas? And he was pretty much speechless after that, but it's all part of Agenda 21. Highland Mall is the next big battle, and there's many battles to be fought.
He ran against Laura Morrison, and they made it into a runoff. His dad was the head of the Galindo Group, an international sustainable development consortium, and he comes in and runs for city council trying to push his plan with town centers and pods all over the place.
Anytime there's the word consortium in anyone's background, run away. Run away.
John, can I say something about the rural nature you were talking about? And that is
never means
tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, everybody, please pay attention on this. 9 o'clock tomorrow morning is the Travis County Commissioners Court session, which is bigger than the city. It's virtually the city council for the whole county, and they have real heavy issues. And right now, they're banishing me personally. Judge Bisco had a hissy fit of his own, and he didn't like how I was speaking for the unborn. And there was a Chinese delegation there, and they were trying to set up a sister city sort of thing. And
more Agenda 21.
Yeah, exactly. Down the line, Agenda 21 out the wazoo. And so I spoke against it, and the Eckhart tried to shout me down, and then eventually Bisco called over the authorities. They threw me out of there. I got handcuffed outside, and it was just a hoax.
The cop would not give Ronnie his name over and over.
Yeah. I asked him politely, please, could you give me your badge number and your name, which they have to do, but they refused to do it. So when I opened the door and asked them again, then they came out with their handcuffs, and so it's just yet another ongoing hoax. And so now the mayor's done it, now the judge, but the mayor's been already ruled to be incorrect. He doesn't have that authority. So for Bisco to think he can do it is mind-boggling.
So they're going to continue to do that kind of stuff as long as we let them do it.
Yeah, we're not going to let them.
Where is this, Ronnie?
This is the Travis County Commissioners Court sessions, and they every Tuesday.
What are you doing tomorrow?
At 9 o'clock.
What are you going?